Hello everybody, we are here for a Legend Gaming Community Member Spotlight. It's 7, of course. And today I am sitting here with Sera. Say hello, Sera. Sera is a longtime member and elder of Legend Gaming, also presently the other Inner Sanctum representative for Acheron, our World of Darkness chapter. We're just going to sit down and have a few questions with Sera, find out a little bit more about her and what makes her. So how are you doing today?
Not bad.
Not bad. You're doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Short, sweet, to the point. Well, let's move to our first question then. Go ahead and get this ball rolling. First one is pretty simple. How long have you been in Legend Gaming?
I believe it was September 2009 that I started, so 4 years just about.
Almost. It's a long haul. How would you describe your long tenure in this
Busy.
community?
Started off in Genjidai with kind of keeping under the radar, but I think within after about a year is when I took on activity officership, and then did that for far too long. And then when Acheron started up, I did activity for that, and now I'm doing RP. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's been since I first started that I was actually able just to sit around and do nothing.
Busy. Well, you've been the head of the activity department. Of course you've been busy. You're supposed to be busy, right?
Yeah, good point.
All right. And you transitioned from the activity department over to running roleplay. What made you want to do that?
I've actually been interested in RP for some time now, and with it being, I did it for Acheron, which is for World of Darkness, and it's all about vampires, and I've loved vampires ever since I was a little kid. So I really wanted to be able to delve into the lore and come up with these great stories for other people, and I really wanted to get my feet wet in a different department other than activity, because you can only do activities for so long before you start, going gray, which I am. But yeah, I just wanted to try something new, and I haven't regretted changing department.
That's true. About activity, but I think you'll find the same thing's true with RP. I did that for years, and I was ready to do something else.
I'm already starting to want to strangle some people, but hey, it's my job to keep it going, so if it slacks, it's my fault.
I'm angry, and I'm armed.
You haven't been doing it long enough to want to strangle people yet. Okay. You've been active in Acheron. Is that the only chapter you're active in right now?
That's the only chapter I'm really a full-time member of. I periodically do hop on the Vokundein and Terminus forums, but for the most part, my focus is on Acheron.
Okay. And to throw this out there for those of you listening to this recording that are not in Legend Gaming, Acheron is our World of Darkness MMO chapter, Vokundein is our Elder Scrolls Online chapter, and Terminus is our chapter for WildStar Online, an upcoming MMO that should be out soon. Well, speaking of RP and Acheron, what plans for the RP future of Acheron do you have cooking up?
Oh, let's see. Currently, I have 3 primary ideas. One's actually in the works. It's the Games of the Night RP, and it's a guild-wide RP. And right now, we've been doing it for a couple months now, and we've only touched the first 10% of what I had in store for this RP. So it's going to be a massive one, and it will eventually span over a couple of years. And it really is focused on the gathering of intel, espionage, stuff like that. So about half of our members are pretty interested in it. And let's see. Oh, there have been hints for another overarching story that I've dropped here and there. I don't know if anybody's actually picked up on it yet, but it is supposed to be very subtle, and it's going to come up eventually, and it's actually going to be more, it has a way of either going more diplomacy-based or more fighting-based. So, depending on how the guild members play it out, depends on which way it's going to go. Let's see. There's another one I'm working on that's going to focus on one of our other orders, the Vigil. It's going to be more supernatural based, but that's still in the beginning works. I haven't really finished work on that yet. Other than that, that's what I have right now, and of course I'm still working on the lore. I've still got some more. I love making maps, so I've still got tons more maps to make for Portland, which is Acheron's base of operations in RP. So once I at least get some more maps out, we'll be able to move forward with some of these other RPs.
Alright, sounds good. Sounds like you've been keeping busy. Got a lot of different strings tangled up and working in different directions. That's good. Always got to have different things going on with RP. Can't ever sit down with just one thing. Got to be planning the next event.
Actually, I just remembered I've got another one I've got planned to do in the next couple of months. That's going to be a masquerade ball. The underlying story that's going to go along with it, I'm not going to tell anybody ahead of time, but it is going to be a masquerade ball, and I'm super excited to do this, because if we get enough people in on it and pull it off, I think it'll be great.
Super excited about dressing up and going to a party in RP.
I have no life. Yes, I'm excited.
That's alright. It's different. Sounds like a fun thing to do. Speaking of RP characters, what would you say is your favorite character that you have ever created, and why?
It's kind of hard, because there have been aspects of all my characters that I've really, really liked. Let's see. Aura, my, Genjai, or SW Tor character, she was very a party animal, very fun-loving. She had tons of friends. She lived life to the fullest. She was a lot of fun to play, especially, in the billions and billions and billions of Cantina RPs we did every Saturday night. So she was a lot of fun to play. Sera, who's my character now or my main character now for Acheron, is kind of like Aura in the sense that she really is. She is outgoing, however, she's a warrior, and I'm actually having to work a little bit harder with her to make a very warrior-based person. She's a fighter, so I'm having to actually brush up on my fighting types of RP, and learning moves. I'm researching mixed martial arts, because that's one of the things she knows. So I'm having to research it and find out how the body moves so that I can actually RP it better. And she's proving to be a lot of work, but a lot of fun, because she's another one of those that is, she's her own person. She doesn't care about anything anybody has to say. And she doesn't really have too much of a filter between her brain and her mouth, so it leaves it open for me to say what I want in RP. Those two have been really my favorites. So far those two are my favorites.
Okay. Part of that now sounded like criticism of my Cantina RP.
It's not criticism, it was just We did it a lot. There wasn't much else to do in Tor when it came to RP.
It's only once a week.
So 52 times a year.
It did get a bit much, but as you said, there wasn't a whole lot else to do. We were working on other things all the time. Going to the fighting RP, is that something that doesn't normally come natural to you? Is that something you really have to work on describing? I know we've had some members in the past that had trouble with that, and how is it that you cope with that?
Typing up a forum post or even a RP post for in-game RP for a fighting instance is actually very, very hard for me. I've been RPing for a few years now, but it's actually incredibly hard because I have to, while I can describe a scene easily, I can throw out a scene in a couple seconds. To fight, I have to actually sit there and think of every single movement the body is going to do, even if it's just to swing at somebody. I have to think of the muscles flowing through and describing that, and so it may take me a little while to type up a post for that, because like Tarek, one of our other members, him and our characters fight a lot, so every RP just about we're doing a fight, so I do really have to work hard, and it's helping me learn more about RP, and I'm able to help people more, because as I'm going through these struggles, I'm able to help others to recognize, hey, this is how you can actually make your RP better, because not everybody knows how to do fighting RP, especially, like Seven and I were talking about this the other day, especially if you've never taken a martial arts, you've never been in a fight. It's hard to think about what muscles and what body motions you're actually going to use in a fight. So, for some people, that's really hard for them to, pump out an RP post.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've got a martial arts background to some extent, done several years of it, and that really does help, I think, pump out the combative post. It doesn't take me that much time to do it. It comes intuitively how the body moves, what sort of reactions happen when someone does something. But I can see how somebody without that kind of background or experience can have certain levels of difficulty with that.
Right. I took like one semester of Aikido, and so I know how to dodge. I can type up a dodge post really easy.
Alright, well, I'm going to jump ship a little bit here, trying to keep these different subjects, keep jumping back and forth, mix things up a little bit. How would you describe yourself as a gamer? Like, how would you describe yourself while you are in-game?
Let's see. As a gamer, well, usually when I jump into a game, especially an MMO, I love questing. I don't know why, but I really love questing. I'll sit there and I'll just do it, for hours on end, and I get pretty focused on it, and it's really, unless, I like reading the storylines, but unless it's dailies. Dailies, I can't do those. Those are the only kind of questing things I cannot do. Raiding, I really like raiding. However, I haven't had the opportunity to do it. So I'm hoping that it's one of the games that are coming out soon. I'll get to try that again, because I haven't done it since WoW. And the people I did it with were a bit special. Let's see. PvP is one aspect of gaming I really need to work on. I really want to work on. Because I've done it to some extent. But if you look at World of Darkness, it's going to be very heavily PvP based. And, at least so far, that's what we know. And my character is going to be really, perfect for PvP. So I'm going to need to, that's one of the things I'm going to have to learn as soon as I get into the game, is really how to PvP. And so, of course my strength is going to continue to be with RP because that is my passion. I really do focus on RP first and foremost. I spend a lot of time working on characters. I did the same thing for a while. All the characters I played had a storyline. Even if I'd never used it, if I'd never got a chance to actually RP with people, they had a story. I did that when I made the character. And I pretty much do that with all the characters I come up with for MMOs. They have some sort of a storyline. I don't just throw out a character.
So it really sounds like when you get into the game, you're kind of a jack of all trades, or I guess a Jill of all trades in this case. You really like to get in there and just kind of do a little bit of everything.
I try to. I didn't do so much with the last game I played, which was SW Tour, because I don't think I did one raiding thing. Like one big raid. I never did one of those, but I did do some PvP, and I did heavily focus on questing and on RP.
Going back to the Legend Gaming community, what is your favorite thing about Legend Gaming?
Honestly, it's the people. Since joining, I have made friendships that are going to last a long time. Even if we stop playing certain games. If for some reason I eventually leave Legend Gaming, I am still going to have these friendships that will continue on. And for me, that is, I treasure my friendships. And so that is the best thing I could have ever gotten from Legend.
Definitely one of the best parts about Legend Gaming. It's not just a guild or a collection of guilds. It's a real community. We've got people from all aspects of the community and different chapters playing different games. But at the end of the day, we all come together and we're all here for the same purpose because we want to be here together, playing games together, just generally hanging out together in a place that's pleasant, drama-free, which is saying a lot in a gaming community. I've been in some drama-ridden places.
I don't know, that's saying a lot in any community. Work, anyway.
I don't know, my work is pretty nice. We don't have that much drama. And kind of branching off of that, what would you say sets apart a player's experience with Legend Gaming rather than any other gaming guild or community?
The only other really organized guild I was in before was back in WoW, and they had some structure. They definitely have one of the better structured guilds, at least on the server I was on, but it does not have they did not have the structure, the amount of people willing to devote time and energy into a community like Legend Gaming. We do have an application process, which from what I've heard is kind of uncommon. We are picky to an extent. I mean, we're not like super picky or anything. We'll let most anybody in. I mean, I'm here, but we also do really protect our members. Once you're in, it's almost like a brotherhood. Once you're in, you become we will protect you, and we will protect you from other people. We'll protect you from other guilds, but you're also protected within the community. If your guild leader gets mad at you because you looked at him funny or yawned or something, I don't know, something stupid, he can't just kick you out for no reason. So you do have rights, which, many guilds don't. Many guilds, you're just another person. So here, every member of Legend Gaming is cherished, and I think that's really what sets us apart.
Yeah, it's definitely something different. Most guilds don't really have rules a lot of guilds do have rules, but most guilds don't really have rules that actually protect their members. Rules that actually limit the abilities or the authority, I guess, of the guild leaders and says, hey, guild leaders, you can't do this. You can't go off the wall and remove half your membership just because you felt like it one day. And that definitely is a good point. That's definitely something that Legend Gaming does that's, I think, drawing in a lot of people, and a lot of people who go through the application process and read our code of conduct really get through that part, and they're usually pretty impressed that we have those rules in there. I think that's one of the things that draws a lot of the older, more mature gamers into the community. What currently in development games are you actually looking forward to playing, or possibly playing, depending on how they come?
Well, I'm certainly not looking forward to World of Darkness now. World of Darkness is the primary one I'm looking forward to. However, I've also been keeping my eye out on Elder Scrolls Online because I loved Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Skyrim. I really love those games. First time I played Oblivion, I played it 24 hours straight. I just could not stop playing the game. So it's, to me, Elder Scrolls is very unique and has unique characters and story plots, and so I'm really excited to see how they're going to do with making a MMO out of it.
Elder Scrolls has always been a great game, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Drahl, to be complete aside, wanted to know when the last time you had bacon was, and what kind of bacon it was. He specifically wanted me to ask you this question.
Why is it every time I talk to Drahl, anything that has to do with Drahl, bacon comes up? Okay, well, actually it's funny he would ask that, because before tonight, I hadn't had bacon, really, since 4th of July, and that was chocolate-covered bacon. But tonight, we had a packet of Black Label bacon, thick-cut bacon, sitting in the fridge. No idea why. Just know that it was not past expiration. So we sat and cooked it up and mixed it in our mashed potatoes, and oh my god, it was so good. So, yeah. Last time I had bacon was tonight, and it was Black Label thick cut bacon.
I like how you keep mentioning my name like I'm not here. Seven did this, and I'm sitting here going, yes, I know I did. That bacon brought to you by the Magical Bacon Fairy.
I want a bacon fairy.
Apparently we have a bacon fairy, and I don't know why that bacon was in the refrigerator. Anyway, now that you've talked about what games you're looking forward to, what can you tell us about your gaming history? How did you get into gaming, and especially MMO?
Gaming history. Well, I was a really, really, really small child. I would play first Legend of Zelda, and Joust, and Othello.
Careful, you're dating yourself a bit here.
So yeah, long time ago, my father was a police officer, so he would stay up, like, if he worked in the day, he'd be up all night playing Nintendo, so I'd play with him. I was a night owl. And then later on, I kind of got out of it for a little while. I would periodically play, like, on PlayStation. I would play with Tony Hawk, those Tony Hawk games and whatnot with my sister, but I wasn't really into it until you, 7, after about a year of dating, made me play Guild Wars. And it was funny. I don't even know how he got me to play it, but I think he just kind of, like, sat me down and said, here, play this. And, okay. And the first thing I did, I'm not joking, the first thing I did was I walked out of the main city, and there was a field off to the left, and there were these giant worms that jumped out of the ground and attacked you. And I spent an hour killing worms, running around going, worms! And killing them. I don't know why, but it was so much fun. And after that, you know, he kind of got annoyed with me because we'd be running down the, you know, main roads, and I'd see a worm in the distance and charge off after it. No idea why I did this. It made no sense, but that was the first MMO I played. After that, you got me to play WoW right about the time you decided to stop playing WoW. So I played it for a couple of years, then you got back into it, and then I left, and then you left, and whatever. Then it was SW Tour, and now it's whatever the next game is. Honestly, my favorite MMO, I'm sure people are gonna stone me for this, but my favorite MMO still has to be World of Warcraft.
We have found the witch, may we burn her?
Because it really had a lot to offer RPers that games now don't. Like chairs you can sit in. I'm sorry, but it's not that hard. So yeah. And it really did have so much depth to it. I really did love playing World of Warcraft, and still to this day, every now and then I'll go back and play it, pick it up again, because it's just so unique, and it's still really is a lot of fun, even though they have pandas now.
Just don't even know what to say. No, but I do remember the Guild Wars experience. The worms thing was hilarious at first, but then very quickly, after about a half an hour of you standing there killing those worms, and me just standing behind you watching you do it, I really, really wanted you to do something else.
which is actually kind of why you don't. What was it? It was Doom 3 you had me play too, and you stood behind me, and I was like running through things. I was not checking anything. I just was running because I was like scared out of my mind. So I just kept running. You're like, check over there, check over there. No, I'm running.
Alright, this is coming from someone else completely random. Does your dog still eat its poop?
What?
Someone asked me to ask it, and I thought it was pretty spot-on question. Does your dog eat its poop?
She never did. I don't think. I hope not. I hope not. She ate the cats, because, dogs love cookie treats. Little cat treats, but, she doesn't do that anymore because we keep her out of the bedroom. But, I don't think she still eats her own, because that's just gross. And she licks you in the face a lot, so I would hope she doesn't. That would explain the smell.
Alright, getting back to gaming. What is the longest gaming session you have ever had?
Probably, I remember when I first started with WoW, I really I made a lot of friends, in that game, and we would spend hours and hours, especially for like the whole month that I was, unemployed several years ago. I would stay up all night playing that game, and I would go to sleep about the time the sun came up, and God, I miss those days. I'm too old for that now. But I think that was probably, I don't know how many hours it was, but it was a very, very long time, and I would do it, a couple nights a week, so, for some time it was like that. Yeah, it could go for 8-9 hours.
It's a respectable amount. I usually don't have gaming, periods that long. Get a headache. We're actually burning down the last couple of questions here, so you don't have to endure too much more of this. Before I get to our final serious question, Morwen would like to know, in what circumstances would you give Amara Giovanni everything she wants?
How did I know you were going to ask me this question?
Because you're cheating, you looked at the question.
Let's see. Now, what I would give Amara Giovanni what she wants. Well, yeah, we're not here to talk about that. Now, my character, on the other hand, she, it would take a lot, because, the two things I'm pretty sure Giovanni wants, is not going to come freely from Sera, and if she ever did manage to get it from Sera, she would have to run really, really far, and for a very, very long time, because Sera would track her down. Now, if only it had been my character Aura, she would have gotten everything she wanted in the first 5 minutes.
Aura was a little out there.
She was a Zeltron. What do you expect?
Alright. Getting to our last serious question, and our last question of the evening. We'd like for you to tell us a bit about yourself as a person, rather than as a gamer.
But that's so boring. Let's go back to the gaming. Myself. I am a bookworm. I really love to read. In fact, I have far too many books that I cannot get rid of. It breaks my heart to get rid of a book. Except for Twilight. I threw it at somebody. I'm like, here, take it. I don't want it. And no, I did not buy that. Someone gave it to me. But, that's for you, Zen. And, let's see. I love animals. Except my own, they drive me nuts. I really do love dogs. I volunteer for a, rescue organization. I don't do so much on site as I would like to. I do more behind the scenes stuff, keeping track of behavior problems and whatnot with our multitude of dogs there. Let's see. I am trying to get a job as a librarian. I like being around. I like doing research. I really do enjoy doing research. That was my favorite part of going through grad school, was the research. Not so much writing the papers, it was just doing the research. If I could have any job right now, it would be a medical examiner. I've always been fascinated, for some reason, with that morbid crap, so that would be my dream job if I could have any job right now. I've always been hooked on crime scenes and criminal behavior, and which is why my bachelor's is in criminal justice. So yeah, if I could spend all day watching crime true crime TV, I would. But I think that's about it. Yep, can't think of anything.
That's a bit of a jump. Criminal justice bachelor's to librarian to wanting to be medical examiner. I guess if you find any dead books, you'll be insane.
Hey, I've told you already, part of me still wants to go back to go to med school and fulfill that dream, but I need a job right now, and yeah.
Alright, well, I wanted to thank you for coming and answering all my tedious and inane questions. I appreciate it. I'm sure everyone else that listens to this will appreciate it and enjoy your responses. For everyone listening, thank you for tuning in and listening. For all those not in Legend Gaming, if you play or are interested in playing World of Darkness, WildStar Online, or Elder Scrolls Online, do yourself a favor and check us out sometime at www.legendgaming.net.